I really want to start talking about some of the things that you do differently. Like when most people think of investing, the first thing that comes to their mind often isn't mobile home parks. Like that just isn't the first kind of idea that comes in people's minds. And so maybe you could talk a little bit about some of the, sort of conventional ways of investing that you think cause problems for people, and some of the things that you do or you believe in that are different from the conventional wisdom that most people have heard or learned about in the course of their lifetime.
Sure. I think most people learn to invest the way that Wall Street wants them to invest. There's enough education out there from Wall Street to say, hey, we want your money, invest in the stock market, invest in a 401k. You've got a lot of financial planners out there that, it's kind of like set it and forget it. And I don't know that that's necessarily the best way, or I don't know that I'm fully on board with that being, the one way to do it. I mean, to me, I think that there are a lot of safer ways. When I think about like a 401k or qualified plans, they could work. A lot of it's based on timing. How's the market at the time you retire? What if there's a huge crash like we've seen, recently and even over, the last few decades, and you are retiring at that exact time? You lose half your money, and, it's going to take more time than you have to be able to get back to where you were. That's really tough. It's illiquid. You're not earning, cash flow off of it, most likely. There are penalties to take it out. The list kind of go on and on. Usually you don't know what you're even investing in. And to me, there's just all these drags on the overall return. So you've got taxes to take into account. You've got fees. A lot of people don't realize the fees to manage 401ks are some of the highest fees that exist, period. Some people are paying 3 to 4%. Just ongoing fees. The same thing with mutual funds. They're really high. And we're talking, with the compounding, you're talking about losing out on millions of dollars for most people. And then you've got taxes. Most people also don't realize that, most of deferred type of plans, you still owe the taxes. So whatever your big nest egg number is, the government's going to get 33 to 40%, maybe even more of that number. That's a huge amount. And so the number that people see isn't the real number that they're going to live on. And then there's the hope that you build enough of a nest egg that you can live off the interest of it. But the reality is that's probably not going to happen. And you're going to dig into the principle of the investment, and eventually it's going to whittle down and you're not going to have much interest, and you could spend through all of it. So, we don't know how long we're going to live. We don't know. There's just so many unknowns. To me, it's more of like a hope and pray strategy. Whereas the way I invest, I like to invest in an asset. I want a tangible asset that has value. I want that asset to produce cash flow immediately. I want to be able to live on that cash flow. I want the opportunity for the asset to appreciate. I want the opportunity to sell the asset if I want to sell it for a profit. I want to be able to roll that money into something else. But more importantly than anything, the goal here is to really get the income coming in to exceed the expenses that it costs to live your life. And so that's what I did. After I covered my wife's expenses, I really worked hard at investing to get first to the bare minimum that it cost us to live our life. So this wasn't our current lifestyle. This was just, enough to cover the mortgage and car payments and groceries and, utilities, just the bare minimum. And we did that by purchasing another mobile home park. And then we were then able to make our next investment cover even more than that. So we more than exceeded our current lifestyle. And so we were free at that point. And it was just a really exciting feeling. But we couldn't have done that in a traditional route. We couldn't have done that with a 401k, at least this early. And we just, the cash flow that we're getting and the appreciation we're getting is just so much greater than, what it would be if we had done it the conventional way.